Good morning to ya! Tuesday, April 30th. We're heading to a new month. DJ Wonder Chrissy, Migrant Mayhem, Land Cruiser Midwest. Thanks for joining. Oh, busy week. It's a busy week here, folks. Glad you could join us. Settle in. The show is going to be starting in a minute. All right, let's bring the music down and get the show on the road. Got a couple videos for you today, folks. We're gonna show you what's coming to Chicago. The homelessness and the ingenuity in Los Angeles is just out of this world. I don't know if you guys have seen what's going on in Los Angeles, or what has gone on in Los Angeles. They got the most homeless people in the United States in Los Angeles County, and they're in RVs, they're in tents, they're living on the streets, they're living underneath freeways. They're living in parks, wherever they let them live, they'll live. Well, we got to show you an example here where somebody with some skills in Los Angeles has outdone any homeless person that I can even think of. So let me get this one up and running for you here. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I saw this. I'm like, holy cow. I said, you know what? This is what's coming to Chicago sometime soon. I really believe that. So let's get this one going here. Let me see here. What else we got to get rid of? We got... Let's see here. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's go out to Los Angeles with KTLA and see what the people are doing in off the freeways in Los Angeles. Look at this. This is a house. They've built a house in public right-of-way adjacent to the 110 or the 10 freeway out there. Crazy, but it's true. Let's go and take a look.
A man builds a makeshift home in between the 110 freeway and the Arroyo Seco in Highland Park. That home has electricity, a garden, even a front door, all put together using items that other people have discarded.
So what do neighbors think about the home located not far from their own homes? KTLA's John Finolio joins us live from Highland Park with a closer look. John?
Cher and Sandra, good evening to you. The encampments along the Arroyo Seco, which runs right next to the 110 freeway, have swelled in recent years. And as you're about to see, some people have gotten very creative when it comes to building.
Just a little bit of creativity. Got running water, too.
Property may be hard to come by in Los Angeles, but for some people living on the margins, this is where they call home. There are many makeshift structures built with scrap material and trash along the Arroyo Seco next to the 110 freeway near Highland Park. They are among the more than 46,000 people experiencing homelessness in LA. Some of the structures, like this one, stand out. It has a stone wall, walkway, front door, powered lights, even a hammock for relaxing. It appears well kept. The people living here did not want to speak on camera.
Pues en realidad no.
They don't bother me, this resident tells us, echoing neighbors who say most of the people living along the Arroyo Seco.
Oh, man.
Some of these structures are pretty illustrious.
They are, and just admiring the work that they're doing out here, and I get, violently attacked by these guys.
But clearly not everyone agrees that this waterfront living is okay.
What do you want the city to do?
Clean this mess up. This does not belong here. This is public property, but that's not what it's supposed to be used for. This is dangerous. As you can see down there, someone's cooking with open fire out there. They're stealing electricity. I mean, come on.
Feel bad for those folks?
Yes and no, because, it sucks to say I know some of these people are here, for some reasons that they put themselves here. So, I do wish better for those people, but I cannot be sorry for those mistakes that they made.
Others say just getting by in the City of Angels is becoming too difficult.
It's messed up. I mean, they should lower rent. They should start lowering all kinds of stuff, especially here in LA.
All right, we did reach out to LA City Council member Eunice Hernandez for reaction to these folks living here along the Arroyo Seco, but we have not heard back. We're live in Highland Park. I'm John Fenolio, sending it back to you in Hollywood.
So that was messed up, yeah, to say the at least. Something else that's messed up, I don't know, we've been reporting on this for the last week. We had a officer involved shooting another, let me just say that, another. It's happened quite too frequently in Chicago. I mean, this is just another indication that third world activity is now considered normal and accepted in the city of Chicago, folks. And we bring you the stuff like this way too often. But we had another, about a week ago, an officer who just gotten off of work was headed home at like 3 in the morning, because that's when his shift ended, and he was parking his car, I guess, and getting ready to go into his apartment, his house, and a PO, I'll call it a POS, piece of whatever, right? Excrement that came up to him, and I guess he was gonna carjack him, and something happened, and there was an exchange of lead, and I guess he got hit. The details are starting to leak out now. They didn't know who this was. They have a person of interest, I guess real good interest. The officer was hit in the face like 20 times. The person that they have interest in skipped a hearing for residential burglary in Olympia Fields like a week before. So now they've recovered the officer's gun. He took his badge too, and they arrested one of the relatives of this person of interest, and they're quickly trying to track him down. Well, anyway, the family of the officer stood up. We need more people in the city of Chicago. Yeah, I'm pointing at you guys. We need more people in the city of Chicago to stand up to what's going on in the city of Chicago and quit pulling the lever on the voting machine for anyone that's got a D. I mean, that's what happens. You guys moan and groan about what's happening, But you know what? You voted for these people that sold you out and are selling you out on a continuous basis. And stuff like that, this happens as a result of that. So this family, it's called Huesca, Hispanic Latina family, stood up and basically said they did not want the mayor of Chicago or the governor of Illinois to attend his funeral because they are part of the problem. They are the ones that endorsed and helped get. It's called the Safety Act here. We basically let lots and lots of criminals out. Made it harder for us to detain criminals. I mean, you really got to do a heinous crime in order to be detained anymore in our fair state. So it's been like over a year now since we've had that, and as a result, we're seeing crime spike and lawlessness abound, and guess what? It's worse in Chicago, right? So let's in tribute to the officer. They buried him yesterday. But this story's not over. They're still looking for the person of interest, and I hope they catch him soon. There's a $100,000 reward out for the successful capture of the person of interest. So let's watch this.
Not attend Officer Huesca's funeral after Huesca's family allegedly asked him to stay away. The mayor told media last night he would be at the services.
Yeah, he was. This mayor, Brandon Johnson, was going to go anyway, even though the family said, "Stay away, dude." Tell me this guy's not a narcissist. Yeah.
St. Rita, but State Comptroller Susana Mendoza, whose brother is on the police force, tweeted last night at Officer Huesca's visitation, his grief-stricken mother asked Representative Angelica Guerrero Cuellar and me to please tell Chicago's mayor he was unwelcome at her son's funeral. We both called him before 10 p.m. asking he please honor her wishes. This morning, the mayor sent an updated statement saying he would not be there. The mayor said in part, "My heart is with the Huesca family today. God bless them, and God bless the city of Chicago." It's the first time in recent memory a sitting mayor has been asked not to attend the funeral of a fallen service member. Many police officers turned their backs. You'll remember this on Mayor Lori Lightfoot when she visited Ella French, her partner Carlos Yanez, at the hospital. That was in the year 2021, but Lightfoot still attended French's funeral.
Check this out.
So not the first time. It's not going to be the last time. It is the first time. We need people in the city of Chicago to follow the lead of this family. Stand up for your community. Stand up for your safety. Stand up for your rights, and try to bring law and order back into the city. It's out of control. It is out of control, and if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, we continuously bring you craziness, right? We had less than a week ago, we had a bus driver that was assaulted on a bus by someone that one of the passengers called to come to the bus because she didn't like what was going on with the bus driver for some reason. I mean, that's just crazy. And we've seen in other cities similar things are happening. It's out of control. I need to find, there's an article or a video about we have armed robberies happening in daylight now in Chicago, in the Loop in downtown Chicago. There was several armed robberies the last couple of within the week for just happened in the middle of the day. Several, not just one, several. It's not safe to go downtown anymore, and I really thought that with the start of summer things would cool off a little bit, but it seems like lawlessness is percolating and taking control as we sit and watch. And Chicago is further unraveling. Here's another thing. We'll cover this too in the in the coming days. They want to merge our mass transportation, the Metro, the CTA, the PACE, in the region. They're all separate entities, and guess what? They're running out of money. They're spending the last of their COVID dollars, and they know that they're in trouble. I've just been going by some of the Metro parking lot. That's the commuter rail for people that go downtown Chicago to work in the office buildings, which, hey, not happening as much as it used to. So I've been driving by some of these Metro lots, and you can tell there's only about 40%, that's 40, at these Metro lots as far as people parking and going downtown compared to what it was like back in pre Jabby Jabby days. So, I mean, literally around here, most of the parking lots were full. You had to get there early to get a spot. And there was other people who, would go downtown. They knew they wouldn't get a spot. They'd always get a ride from someone. So, but now when you go by these lots, there's only like 40% of the lot filled. And the key piece is like the Metro. The Metro is funded by the federal government at, 45%. The commuters, or people that are utilizing the service, are supposed to pay for 55% of the service. So that's their equation. Well, guess what? It's not gonna be able to support what's going on as less people are going downtown to work, as they're working from home, as we're seeing it all around. And also this next week or so, tax assessments for commercial properties in some parts of Chicago is going to be released. So we're going to come to a tipping point here, because people are going to be appealing those assessments if they're not low enough. And I just saw in one of the real estate rags, The Real Deal, yeah, that's The Real Deal, there was a property in downtown Chicago in, I think, the Loop area. It was like a 30-story skyscraper. At 5 years ago, it was bought for $350 million, and the people are trying to get it refinanced, and they say it's only worth $150. That's a huge discount. I think it's like a 60% off or something. I'll let you guys do the math, but I think I saw it was 60% off of the original price. And it mentioned there's not just one bank on the hook for this $200 million shortfall. There was several. It was Bank of America, PNC, I think like Goldman Sachs. There was like 4 or 5 people that had funding in this building that is now worth $200 million less. And it's not going to end well. Not going to end well. And I saw as I perused The Real Deal, there was other similar cases of buildings that, the finances just don't make sense anymore. And as we've talked about here in the past, once a building goes 30% empty, that's 30. When they start having 30% people back out of their leases or not renew them or whatever, when you have a 30% open space in your building or your high rise or what have you, the economics are hard to make work. Okay, they found this out in San Francisco. It moved down to LA. It's coming across the country. Houston, Dallas, Chicago, New York City, all the major metropolitan areas are experiencing this. And it's not going to end it's not going to end happily. It's not going to be a happy time. Yeah. So get ready for more unraveling. I guess that's the message here. Expect it. We got the Fed meeting going on today and tomorrow, and that's not going to be a happy conversation. I know they want to reduce rates, but they can't. They literally can't. They need to reduce the rates to keep the banks in business. We talked about a couple of days ago about a bank that went under. But I'm here to tell you too, not only are banks going under, we're seeing lots of mergers. Susie Q went to her bank, and we were talking to the banker there, and we asked him how business was, and he says, oh, they're getting ready to go through another merger. They just bought another bank up, and this company's been buying banks left and right for the last couple of years. They actually bought her bank, so that's why she's, we went there, and we were asking about this bank, and he guy says, oh yeah, we're buying more banks. And I went out and I checked the bank that they bought, which was located in the Joliet area. I think it was Merchants and Manufacturers Bank in Joliet area, Will County of Illinois. It was rated as like a D+. So there you go. I mean, these banks either have to go under or sell themselves or merge with other bigger banks where it makes sense. And the Fed prefers, the Fed and the Treasury, they prefer that the merger happen. They don't want to get involved. They don't want the FDIC to have to step in and do their handiwork and make everybody whole, like they did with this most recent one, Republic First, where the FDIC fund. Yes, we've talked about the FDIC fund here. $667 million. Government, Big Gov had to come up with $667 million to save that bank. That's not something we want to be doing on a regular basis. And they basically said, hey, we expect at least 4 or 5 banks to go under every year. So I think everyone's counting on the Fed to keep rates the same. But deep down, I think the Fed is continue as we move through this year. The Fed is putting themselves in a harder and harder situation because they know they need to back off these rates. We're starting to see delinquencies, which is related to these rates. The normal consumer is starting to stop or unable to make his payments. We're seeing an increase in delinquency in car payments, credit card payments, mortgages, all across the board. We're starting to see spikes in delinquencies, which is people not being able to pay their bills. Okay, you're going to see people that can't pay their electric bills this year. We're already seeing people that can't pay their grocery bills. They're putting it on their credit cards, and at some point, the credit limits are going to start to be constricted. You're going to see that coming this summer and the end of this year. The normal middle class person's going to get their credit limit cut in half, or if not more, and then they're going to be in trouble because people have been using that credit card, the HELOC. They've been using all sorts of methods of trying to get by, and we're at the end of the road when it comes to consumer financing of debt. So you're going to see a huge constriction of that happen, and then you're going to see things starting to pop. Things are going to start popping out where they're not popping out before. So beware, folks. Beware. I'm just trying to point out what's coming sometime soon. When, I don't know, but sometime soon. So Check it out. There's a lot of reports about delinquencies and the rise of them, and you got to kind of extrapolate. Okay, well, where's it going from here? And I'm just telling you, this is where it's going, and it's not good news. So if we can't decrease these rates in a rapid fashion, that's where we're headed, and I think that's we're not going to see rates go down anytime soon. I think that the Fed is not going to lower rates until 2025, and that puts pressure on banks. It does, and the banks are already messed up, and it's getting worse with each passing month. So tomorrow afternoon, I think the Fed comes out with their decision. I think they'll just leave it the way it is, although they need to raise it. They do need to raise it because inflation is starting to rage. I hope it doesn't take off. That's the risk that they're running. By doing nothing and keeping the rate as it is a safe bet, but they got this inflation that's rearing its head a little bit. And you guys are feeling it. I'm feeling it. I see blood running in the streets now, and we're already at 26 minutes. My, how time flies when we're having fun talking about migrants and finance. So we're going to leave it there. Like, share, subscribe, folks. This is Migrant Mayhem, Land Cruiser Midwest. I am DJ Wonder Chrissy, trying to educate you guys about what's going on in our fair state of Illinois, in the city of Chicago, and talk about finance a little bit. So that's all I got for today. Over and out. Catch you on the other side.